Okay, we're live. Yo, everybody. How's everyone doing? I'm just sharing away. I'm just being a sharing animal. Hold on a second. I'm a sharing animal. I was always told to share growing up, so I am. I'm sharing. Hey, welcome to Wine with Dave. You like my new background? This is what happened. My daughter kicked me out of my office. She liked my office, and being 15 years old, you got to listen to her. So I'm in her bedroom, which I actually like. Got some curtains behind me. You know, it's funky. I don't know. I'm not into the green screen. I could easily just hang a green screen there and then just do some kind of a funky little thing. But anyway, this is what a green screen looks like, by the way. You can, you know, it does a little brick pattern. I could, you know, I don't know. I'm not into green screens because it's supposed to look like you're in a really nice place. Well, you know what my advice is? Get a real nice place. Don't get a photo online of like a New York skyline and you're in the 90th floor and then that's your green screen because everyone knows you're not there. So I'm all about being honest. Anyway, so my daughter kicked me out. I'm in her room, which is now the new office. So I'll give you a little sneak peek of what it looks like. Here's my little, you know, not much to look at. Desk, camera, you know. But hey, we got 13 people watching. Thank you for showing up. It feels like it was 3 weeks since I've been on, but it's every Wednesday. So welcome to Wine with Dave. Look, it is, wow, my hand landed with a perfect spot. Episode 81. I think that's talent. I'm wicked talented. If it's your first time here, go ahead on the Wine with Dave page and just follow me. Go ahead and follow or like. Actually, I prefer that you follow because a like is like $1. It's like giving me $1. If you follow me, it's like giving me $10. And then whenever we go live, your phone just goes bloop, and you'll look and you'll say, oh, Dave's live. Let me check out the guest. And if you don't want to watch the guest, you don't have to. But it helps me because I do this for free to encourage and build up and highlight the community, entrepreneurs and such. Got a great guest on. She's in the green room. My new software has a green room. They get to wait in the green room, and I click a button, and they come on. It's really cool. Yeah, so wow. Oh, and also share it. Go ahead and share the page. Just click on share. That way all your friends know who you're watching, what you're doing right now. What is it tonight? Are you guys ready? Top of the hour. Episode 81. Today is Wednesday, November 11th, 2020. It's wine o'clock. I had something. Where is it? Where did it go? Where did it go? I had this thing. It was kind of cool. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to waste time looking for it. There it is. Here it is. Boom. Wind Down Wednesday. Look at that. It's a t-shirt now. It's I'll put it right on my head. That won't be too annoying the whole time. Oh, it's Wind Down Wednesday. Put that over there. Now I'll get rid of it. Who wants to see that all night? It's wind down. It's halfway to the weekend, folks. Thanks for joining. Got a lot of people. Type in where you're from. Looks like a lot of people are here. Courtney is listening, watching from Brookdale. Good. Glad you're on, Courtney. Let me move this over here. If you type something in, it shows up on the screen. Want to do a shout out. Katie is recommending Jeremiah Do watch in Janelle. Yeah, Michael White, my buddy from Scotland. So Scotland's in the house. Sharing is caring. Boy, Katie's got a really nice. All right, I'm having a private conversation with Katie openly. You guys can all go home. We'll just joke around. Yeah, Wine Wednesday, but I forgot to ask my wife to go shopping for wine. So tonight, it's water. Courtney, you're working a double. Wow. You are working your butt off. I got to have you on because you're on the front lines of working with the elderly. I think you're still doing that. Brookdale, yeah, nursing home. This is great. Tonight I'm drinking a Sauvignon Non. It's a 7 non. Yeah, give me some likes, give me a little thumbs up, that would be great. We're going to get right into the first segment, which everyone likes, and it's called Did You Know? All right, these are really cool. I like Did You Know? Did You Know is pretty fun. Turn this down a little bit. Boom. Did you know? Did you know the reason the taste of artificial banana flavoring and artificial banana flavored products doesn't taste like bananas? Did you ever know? Well, I'm here to tell you. It's because it's based on a type of banana that was wiped out by a plague in the 1950s. That banana does not exist anymore, that particular banana. But they never changed the flavor, and everyone just makes the same thing. So that's why. That's what bananas used to taste like in the 50s. Just try any banana liqueur, banana bubble gum, anything banana. That smell is what bananas used to smell like in the heyday. That's there's more useless facts coming up. Just hang in there. I'm your perfect waste of time on a Wednesday evening. Did you know Australia has over 10,000 beaches? You could visit a new beach every day for 27 years. Wild, huh? It was Nicolas Cage who first advised Johnny Depp to pursue a career in acting during the mid-1980s. Oh, this is a good Sauvignon. Sauvignon wine. The national, we got some interactive questions, facts, okay? So I want you to guess if you can. Here's the first one. The national animal of Scotland is what? Just leave it there. Just say Scotland and what you think the national animal is. You could go to Google to find it, but that's not fun. Try to use your brain. Oh, by the way, YouTube is down. Did you guys hear that? YouTube is down tonight. Don't leave to check, because I want you to stay for the show. The directors of the film Despicable Me actually wrote their own language for the Minions called Minionese. All right, here's an interesting one. What group were the first ever people in modern history to start an anti-smoking and tobacco movement? What group was that? Just type in anti-smoking and what group you think that was. The first one was just Scotland, and what's their national animal? I got another one coming up. Did you know that Viagra, when dissolved in water, like I have, because again, I didn't get wine, if you dissolve Viagra in water, it can make cut flowers stay erect for up to a week longer than they usually would. You should try it. Catnip is 10 times more effective at repelling mosquitoes than DEET, the main substance used in insect repellents. Is that cool? Use catnip. Now you tell me. It's November. I have to deal with those mosquitoes all year. Here's a second one. In 2002 alone, more people in the U.S. were killed by what animal? They were killed by this animal more than shock attacks in the past 100 years. 100 years. Shocks were the predators, but in 2002 there was an animal that killed more than shocks. So just type in, I don't know, just type in shocks dash and then what animal beat the shark as far as being a killer. Massachusetts Institute of Technology deems certain students who take courses in pistol marksmanship, archery, sailing, and fencing as certified pirates. If you take all four at Mass Institute of Technology, you are certified as a pirate, my friend. This is cool. Film producer Jeffrey Katzenberg. He revived the Walt Disney Studios by producing some of their biggest hits, Little Mermaid, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. After these, he requested a promotion and was then abruptly fired by Disney. He then swore revenge against Disney and he founded DreamWorks Studio. He said, "Screw you, Disney." That was mean. I wonder if there's more to the story. In movie credits, when you see an ampersand and an and word, it means two different things. Two writers' names in the credits joined by an ampersand meant they collaborated on the script. If their names are joined by an and, A-N-D, then they worked on the script at different times. That was a repeat Strange Facts. I thought it was cool. 3 more. In 2005, Iraqi insurgents tried to convince American officials that they were holding an American soldier hostage. It meant to kill him if Iraqi prisoners were not released. However, their supposed hostage turned out to be a military action figure, not an actual soldier. They just didn't want to lie. They said, yeah, we got a soldier. But we didn't fall for it. In 2014, Netflix spent $0 on marketing its DVD rental business. But over 16 million people still used it without any marketing. And lastly, in 1969, a musician named Jim Sullivan recorded an album called UFO, which featured strange lyrics about leaving his family and being abducted by aliens. Oddly enough, Sullivan disappeared 6 years later without a trace, the only piece of evidence being his abandoned car found on a desert road. Jim Sullivan, 1969. Look it up. All right. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? All right, you guys ready to guess? I think these are pretty good today. First one, what am I? Am I on the right one? I'm over here. All right. First one, the national animal of Scotland. What? Oh, I got 2 mice. What the heck? Let's see. Wow, a lot of people have big. Hey, big guy, Al Gettler's on the phone. No, he's not. He's not on the phone. Courtney's working a double. How are you, Al? I'm going to be on Al's show. He's on LinkedIn Live. So watch me. He's going to be there. All right, here we go. Michael White. Oh, well, of course, the national animal of Scotland. You're from Scotland, dude. It's like 4 a.m. there. You would know. He said, it be a unicorn. Let's see if you're right. Katie Paris Katlow says Scotland is a cow. Bob Goldberg, Scotland's a sheep. Al Gettler, terrier. And that's all the guesses there. Well, we do have a winner. Duh. The winner is this guy all the way from Edinburgh, Scotland. Michael White. He's been following the show. So that's cool. Katie, you got someone from Scotland watching the show. Yes, a unicorn is the national animal of Scotland. Can you imagine? Those guys are funny. I got to hold it to you. All right, so what was the group, the first group in modern history to start an anti-smoking and tobacco? Let's see what people did there. Katzenberg, let me see. Katzenberg lost billions, and in 6 months, then the streaming service Quibi failed. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. No one guessed the second one, huh? What group? You know what the group was? The Nazis. The Nazis were the first people in modern history to start an anti-smoking tobacco movement. All right, the third one. In 2002 alone, more people in the U.S. were killed by blank than in shark attacks in the past 100 years. Do I have anybody? I've got Katie thinking it's snakes. Wes Bonzer thinks unicorn. Oh, no, he's guessing for Scotland. So you're right on that one. But you'd be funny on this question. More people were killed by unicorns in 2000. They were Scottish unicorns. Bob Goldberg. How you doing, Bob? He's guessing dogs. That's really? Dogs? Let's see. Michael is saying Scotland just thought, well, it can headbutt a lion, so why not? I love Scottish humor. All right, so no one else guessed. Snake, you know, we do have a winner. Yes. The winner is Bob Goldberg. Sharks, he's guessing dogs. Dogs were the #1 killer. They killed more people in 2002 than sharks. All right, that was it, right? Is that everything? That was interesting with the movie credits, the ampersand and the and. Next time you watch a movie, if you see, written by, if it's and, they wrote separately. If it was an ampersand, they wrote it together in the same room. But that's really cool that Al said Katzenberg just lost billions, and in 6 months when the streaming service Quibi failed. I never heard of Quibi or Quibi. Way to go, Goldberg. Okay. Hey, you guys ready for some interesting stuff before I bring my guest on? I'm going to keep that up there. These little quotes stay up there for 10 seconds, and then they fade. Give us some likes, okay? I like likes. I really like likes. I could use a like because I'm drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon liquor, non-liquor, Sauvignon liquor. All right, I'm done with that joke. This is a stupid, stupid joke. Today it's someone's birthday. Anybody want to know whose birthday it is? Well, first of all, let me get this out of the way. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's birthday. He turned 46. I'm a big fan of him, but I didn't have time to find a photo online and transparent the background out so I could pop him here. So just imagine that right here is Leonardo DiCaprio with a hat, scruffily, from Departed, or whatever that movie was. What movie was that the grizzly bear ripped him to shreds? Anyway, it's his birthday today. I congratulate you. You're not here, but you would be. But I did have time to put this guy on. I love this guy. You guys are into XTC? Oh my gosh. Yes, singer-songwriter for the brilliant English pop band XTC. Andy Partridge turned 67. Partridge is sometimes regarded as the godfather of Brit pop. He is the godfather of Brit pop. I mean, those albums, Drums and Wires, Black Sea, English Settlement, and that gorgeous album, that well-produced album by Todd Rundgren, Skylarking. If you've never heard of XTC, I don't know where you've been. You've got to pull out your old... You don't go to YouTube, though. YouTube's down right now. That's big, big news. So anyway, Andy Partridge. I would like to toast Andy Partridge with a glass of wine. With a glass of white wine, clear wine. What am I doing here? Getting rid of that. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, yeah, Andy Partridge. That's cool. 67. Been listening to his music for a while. Leonardo DiCaprio. But today's a big day, folks. We all know 11/11. On the 11th month, on the 11th day, at the 11th hour, something happened. World War I officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28th, 1919. And while I'm reading this, I really want to give a shout out to anyone out there who is a veteran or has a veteran in their family. Type it in the comments. I'm going to read it out loud. Living or dead, I'll just read it, okay? So I want to honor them. And by the way, let me do this. Whether you're in the Army, whether you're in the Navy, whether you're in the Air Force, whether you're in the Marines, whether you're in the National Guard, or whether you're in the United States Coast Guard. You like how I had that all laid out? Had that all there. So just type their names in, and I would like to honor them. I would like to honor them. So let me read this. World War I officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28th, 1919. However, the fighting ended about 7 months before that when the Allies in Germany put into effect an armistice on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th, 1918, was largely considered the end of the war to end all wars. And dubbed Armistice Day. It was actually called Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress officially recognized it as the end of the war, and in 1938, it became an official holiday, primarily a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I. But really, it's for veterans of any service. Okay, so I want you guys to put it in there. Can you do that for me? Way to go, Goldberg. Maureen's birthday was yesterday. Oh, let me move this over. I'll make that cover my face. I don't mind. That's okay. Anybody a veteran out there listening? Or type in a veteran. I'd like to talk about him. Ron Sweeney, happy birthday. Yeah, he's not a veteran though. Cheers. Any veterans? I'm getting nobody. I loved watching the Partridge Family. Andy Partridge, not the Partridge Family. Here we go. We get one. Uncle George Edmonds. Uncle George Edmonds. I toast you. I don't know who you are, if you're still alive or not. And also Katie's cousin, Nathan Young. Bob Goldberg. Yes, I saw the photo, Bob. That's great. World War II, stationed in the Aleutian Islands. Did I pronounce that right? I raise a glass to you, Mr. Goldberg. Thanks for fighting in the Aleutian Islands. Thank you for your service. Here we go. Michael White. My father was in the Queen's Own Highlanders. Still here today. Absolute legend. Fought for liberty, Scotland, and freedom. Freedom. Yes, Michael. Well, I hold a glass of water up to you. It's so lame. It's Wine with Dave. I'm toasting people with water. Jeez. Blessings for them. Yes, that's good. Anybody? Anybody else? Mr. Gettler. Al Gettler Sr. World War II, Navy. Come on. Al Gettler, you produced a fine young man. And that fine young man produced a fine young puppet. You begat Al Jr., and Al Jr. begat ventriloquist dummy. Inside joke. You got to know Al. I hope I didn't insult you, Al. I really hope I didn't insult you. You said it right. Cool. Yeah. All right. My son-in-law, Sean's in the Army. I'm going to raise a glass for Sean in the Army. Awesome. And Katie ends with, thank you for your service. All right. We're going to wrap that up. So, Veterans Day. Yes. Think about the veterans in your life. They have literally dropped their lives to serve and help us and protect our lives. They dropped their lives to protect our lives. Next Wednesday, I have an abstract painter from Rhode Island by the name of Luce Maria Sosa, and she's right from Rhode Island. But tonight, you're in for a guest. Of course you are. It's a guest. Tonight, you're in for a treat. That's what I meant to say. Maybe I should switch it. Tonight, you're in for a guest. My treat tonight. Oh, geez. This is strong water. Oh, my gosh. Wow, that is kicking water. Whoo! Tonight, you're in for a treat. Special guest, Katie Katlow, has been competing in the female natural bodybuilding industry since 2013. And for the past 2 years, she's been traveling full-time while maintaining her competition physique. There you go. Katie is a certified personal trainer, and she also trains clients online. And we're going to talk about that. You can actually get her to train you. She's a big deal. She's a big deal. She currently lives in Puerto Vallarta. I'm saying it wrong. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Check it out.
Hello, my name is Katie Katlow. I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and living in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Since 2013, I've been a certified personal trainer as well as a natural bodybuilding competitor in the bikini division. For the last 7 years, my goal has been to earn my pro card in a natural organization and compete as a pro. But in 2018, I began traveling full-time with my husband and thought this dream would end. In 2020, I decided to try again, return to the stage, and have proven that location is not an excuse for not chasing a dream. In 2020, while living in Mexico, I've continued training and flown back to the States 3 different times to compete, placing in the top 3 each time. It is my joy and privilege to talk to you about the journey today and to meet some of you.
There she is. Hi, Katie. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Um, I'm this water is really strong. I don't know what it is. I'm messing up left and right. So what are you drinking again?
Cheers. So I am drinking a Mexican favorite. So this is very easily found in Puerto Vallarta. It's the Finca Las Moras. It's a Sauvignon Blanc.
Finca Las Moras. Yep.
Yes. It's super good. It's crisp. It's light. It's basically about $7 US dollars. It's about I think 195 pesos. So it's like $7 US. So
Oh my
super
gosh.
cheap, but super good. Super good. So it's a good Tuesday or Wednesday night wine.
Yeah. Well, have one on me because clearly I forgot to go to the liquor store.
Gotcha.
Oh, well.
This one's at our regular grocery store, so super easy to get.
Oh, you can do that down there. That's cool.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, let me just get some of these things out of the way. Let me get some of these clowns out of the way. Al Gettler is a ventriloquist. A really smart guy. Very, very clever guy. You like how I'm building you up now that I insulted you? He just said, no, not at all. He's not insulted. Let me see. Michael White. So you've got someone watching you from Scotland here, Katie. I seen the photo of her, and I swear that's a female berserker. I'm actually gonna shit myself. I don't know what a berserker is. There you go. Let's see your guns again.
That's right. I'll take it as a compliment.
Oh, no, I gotta solo you out. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Nice. No body fat on you.
Very little.
Who's this? Oh, this is you. That's exactly right. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. How long have you competed? Let's talk about that.
So 2013. Yeah. So April 2013 was my first show. 7 years. Yeah.
Were you scared? Was it like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do well? What were you thinking?
No. So I was in the gym a lot, always a competitive athlete since high school, and then was just working out in the gym, and another trainer said, have you ever thought about competing? And I was like, no, let me look into that. So I loved it. I did the first show without a trainer, without any guidance, just kind of did my own thing. Wow. And placed in the top 5 my first show without having any guidance. So I was like, not bad.
Yeah.
So being on stage was super fun. I loved being in the limelight, and took a year off from that. And I'll talk about that in a little bit later on just the mental mindset of doing a show and coming off of one. But took about a year off of that and then came back to it, understanding what was needed and how to do it in a better way. So now I've loved it ever since.
Right. Wow. 2013.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Were you always working out and in shape? What drove you to do this?
Yeah. So I was an athlete in high school. So I played basketball, volleyball. I was a cheerleader. Oddly enough, I was a cheerleader, a big peppy one, but always working out. And then as an adult, I was just trying to work out so that I could eat or drink more. So just kind of offsetting the effects of living life.
Yeah.
And another trainer in the gym said, have you ever thought about competing? And I was like, no. And I thought you had to be like big muscle bodybuilding type, like the stereotypical view of bodybuilders. And he's like, no, you could do bikini, whatever, you should look into it. And I loved it. It was basically a what do they call it? Basically a fashion or fashion pageant, a beauty pageant for fit girls. So the glam and the glitz of being in a glittery bikini, wearing heels, having your hair and makeup done, but showing off some muscles. So basically a beauty pageant for fit girls. And I loved that and thought, this is super fun. I should do this more often.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like glitzy glamour and then, people clapping and but it's a sport where you're competing always against yourself, right?
Yes, for sure. Yep, absolutely.
And symmetry is big and tone and all of that. How's the posing? How do you learn to pose? Is that Is there like a book on posing? I never knew how that works.
So there's online videos, so you can do YouTube or Instagram and find posing videos to help you. And then there are coaches that help you pose, because honestly, for me, that is the most confusing part, because I am an athlete. So I train and I work out and I'm very stiff and rigid. So to make that into a flowy style of presenting your body on stage is difficult for me. So like hiring a coach to kind of understand how to transition from walking on stage to going into that front pose and making it kind of pretty.
Yeah.
That's been the most difficult part for me. So there are coaches for that for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. So, you know, when you think of female bodybuilding, not you, but I know I've talked to many people over the years, and you get different views. So what are some of the misconceptions people have about female bodybuilders, or even bodybuilding in general? What have you heard?
So when people say bodybuilding, they immediately think of the massive muscle, not feminine view. So they think of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger view of bodybuilding, where there's like this massive amounts of muscle, and there's girls or females that are just, they almost look masculine, if you will, because they've kind of maybe taken some steroids and gotten some really major shoulders, and they're just really big muscular women and a little bit scary. So there is that realm of it for sure, and kudos to them if that is what you want to do. Yay and kudos. But then there are several different divisions, and they're always evolving. So right now there's the fitness division, which is just a sleek, toned fitness type of in shape female. There's the bikini division, which is balance and symmetry, and it's very feminine, but also showing a muscular tone. There's the figure division, which is not full bodybuilding, but it's rounded shoulders, big shoulder cap, and a V taper divisions within the bodybuilding division of training are toward feminine, toned, what you would expect to see in a quote unquote perfect physique, if you will, or a beach body, beautiful feminine physique. And so a lot of people still have that antiquated, if you will, or view of, oh, bodybuilding women are these muscular He-Man, crazy looking figure women, when now it's turning more towards a feminine, sleeker view of femininity and just shapely female physique.
That's interesting because, you know, I noticed that you've got more, you're definitely feminine. You're not like the butchy, you know, muscle, more muscle than most guys I know, but it's very toned. And I didn't even know that there was different divisions of that.
Yep.
So it's not like body weight. It's literally a different look, a different feel.
Yeah, so it's more of, and they'll do it by height, not necessarily by, like if you were to do men's bodybuilding, that's based on weight. So your weight size. So like there's heavyweight, there's lightweight, there's medium weight, and it's based on your weight when you step on the scale. So female bodybuilding, if you will, is more based on height. So they'll separate us by tall division, like 5, 6, and above, because our muscles are just different, like the longer and leaner. And so you win your tall version versus your short, and then you do need to win the overall to get your pro card. So to win the overall, but they separate us out based on height, just because you carry your weight and your muscles differently based on the length of your muscles. So it's a really interesting sport, and it's very based on symmetry. And does your upper body match your lower body? And is there symmetry between like your biceps on each side? So it's very symmetrical, very aesthetically pleasing. So it's open to so many realms, and it's also a great motivational factor for women who maybe want to lose some pounds and maybe want to lose some weight and have a goal. So they want a goal to get on stage and present their bodies. And this is a great way for them to be motivated to lose that weight.
That's true, because when you have a date set, you're like, oh my gosh, I better be ready for that. As opposed
Right.
to just, I'd like to lose 5 pounds. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of that, so you're training people. How does your bodybuilding world, how does you entering that help you with your clients?
So it's very interesting. So I used to say back in the day that I would never train someone to do a show. And that was coming from the first show that I ever did, and just the amount of leanness that you quote unquote need to get to be on stage, to like show the striations, to show the muscle balance. It's not a quote unquote healthy weight, generally speaking. And so for people to get that lean and then try to come off of that show and come back into what we call a normal, something that you can maintain every single day, that can be very difficult for the mind. So I used to say that I would never train people to do a show just because it was very difficult and it can lead people to a restrictive lifestyle. But now that I've done it for 7 years, it's taught me more the discipline behind understanding what your goals are and how to find that balance. So it's taught me how to, yes, I've gone from healthy living to very restrictive and then bounce back into healthy living. So in training an athlete or training a person who just wants to lose 10, 20 pounds and find a way to be healthy, knowing that I've gone to the extreme, it's helped me to be able to talk to the person who wants to figure out how to enjoy life and yet still find a way to lose those 10 pounds or stay maintained in a healthy living area. And if they want to go to the extreme of doing a bodybuilding show, then I can guide them into what to expect from getting super lean to, like, say 6% body fat, which is really, really difficult for a woman. And then coming off of a 6% body fat into 10, 12, 14% body fat, which is normal and healthy for a female. So it's given me both aspects, if you will, to be able to speak to women in training for them.
Wow. So 12 to 14% body fat's normal for a woman?
Yes.
What
So
about a
anything
guy?
less,
What's the average guy? They're less than that?
they're less than that for sure. So a guy can be like, usually I need to look it up to be sure, but I think in order for a guy to basically show six-pack abs, they need to be about 6% body fat in order to show abs. So it's very different for a guy. For a female, anything less than probably 15% and they're not having a period. So they need to be 15 to 20 to be healthy, but on stage most of the females are probably 10% or less, meaning, not to be gross, but we're not ovulating. So it's not quote unquote healthy for a female to stay in that range at all.
Oh, okay. So you do it to compete, but you got to pull back out and start. Okay.
Correct.
Do you quickly eat something radically different to add fat on, or do you have to slowly build when you're out of the competition mode?
Recommended is a reverse diet type of idea. So recommended is to come off of the stage. So like if your stage is Saturday, generally that's when the competitions are, to enjoy a day of celebration eating. So eat your treats, whether it's a salty foods, whether it's a sweet foods, whatever it is for a day, and then to reverse diet out, meaning that you're going to come back slowly into, okay, Sunday we're going to have maybe 50% carbs and we're going to make them somewhat dirty, not your clean carbs, but somewhat like maybe your potato chips, maybe your breads and your sodiums and that kind of thing, and then slowly come back into a normal diet. So cutting your carbs every single day through that week and then coming back into a normal balance of carbs, proteins, and fats, and reversing that back down. So because when you're going into your leanest amount of weight for your show, you're probably at 10%, 20% carbs, and they're probably they're your slow burning carbs, like your rices, your sweet potatoes, that kind of thing. And you're tapering that down to where you're basically having proteins and vegetables. And then when you reverse back out of that, you want to come into higher amounts of proteins and then adding you're going to have higher amounts of carbs, and then you're slowly cutting them back down. So you're going to come into yay celebration, like your sugars and your high fats and all this exciting stuff, and then you're going to slowly come back into a balanced amount of your macros, which is your protein, carbs, and your fats. So slowly back into it.
Wow.
So not swinging it any further to the left or further to the right, and slowly coming back in.
Wow, there's a system that you follow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be the most disciplined sport, or one of, right? I mean, it's everything you do is just wow. I'm training. I'm getting ready for the big day. So I'm looking at you're in. So right now you're in Mexico, which is pretty cool. So you're in. Don't help me with this. Puerto Vallarta.
Very good. Yes.
All right. Tell me about that. Tell me about your world travels, because when you go to your website, and I want everyone to go there, thecatlows.com, as in there's another Katlow. It's her and her husband.
Yes.
Go there, and then you'll find she's got a blog. She's got everything going on. But tell me about the world travels. That's exciting, huh?
Yeah. So kind of crazy how it started. So 2 years ago, 2018, I was a member of a travel club. So just a group of people around the world that love travel, love entrepreneurship, and I was part of this club. And I booked a vacation to Cancun, Mexico. So lots of stuff leading up to that. And in 2018, my mom actually passed away from a rare form of cancer, which shadowed me into a new way of thinking that life is short, and just really understanding how short it could be. So that shift, and then I booked a vacation in Cancun, Mexico. And on that vacation, at the taxi stand leading into where we were going to go to the resort, I shook hands with a complete stranger to me, but he was a mutual friend of several of mine. So we had mutual friends in common. And I said hello to Michael Katlow, and that was the beginning of a friendship that started online through Instagram, and then eventually we started dating, and eventually we got married. So long story short, when we started talking, I learned that for the past 7 years, he had traveled full time. So he did not have a house, did not have a car, had an online business. And we started dating, and I had a condo and an apartment and a personal training career, if you will. And we started dating, and I learned that, it might be kind of fun to travel the world full time. So I said, throw caution to the wind. Right. So I threw caution to the wind and knew, life is short. I had just lost my mom to a rare form of cancer, which was out of the blue. So I was in this headspace of what if, and let's just try things out. So I closed up my condo lease and quit a job. I left the gym. I was working, just different gyms and working as a 1099 employee, and started traveling with him. And so now for the past now we've gotten married. And so the last 2.5 years or so, our travel dollar is our living dollar. So we live in Airbnbs, we live in all-inclusive resorts. We basically just go where there's an opening to go. And so in 2019, we went to 22 plus countries. We saw 5 of the 7 wonders of the world, had some amazing experiences. And wow. I tell people, when your travel dollar is your living dollar, it goes a lot further. So we don't expect people to pack up everything and travel the way we do. But if you can minimize your at-home expenses, you can experience a lot more of the world. And so we encourage people to do that for sure.
That is cool. Hey, anybody have any questions, just type them on in. Now's the time. We're opening up the lines, as they say in the broadcasting world. I want to live my life through you vicariously. I mean, it's just seeing all the photos of the Egypt and Cairo. I mean, have you ever been to Dubai?
No, it's on the list. It's so on the list. We have not been there yet.
That's on the list for me. How about Iceland?
Yeah. I have not done Iceland. I have a friend that has done Iceland, but I have not seen it yet. Yes.
Well, Iceland's great. I've been to Iceland, but yeah, it's great. Great blog that you have. Great website.
Thank you.
So a word of caution to anyone that is considering entering the bodybuilding industry, what do you think? And I'll be taking questions right now.
Yes. So just understanding that the amount of lean, if you start to follow people on Instagram or social media that are in the bikini world, the bodybuilding world, the fitness world, most of their pictures are stage pictures, and that's
Yeah.
not lifetime. That's not how we stay. So and if you're looking at me now, I am 2 weeks out from a stage, and I'm about 10 plus pounds heavier than I am on stage. So the pictures that we post on stage are like 6% body fat and they're super lean, and that's not where we stay. So if you're following people and thinking that this is the look that you're going to have 24/7, it's not.
It's
So I
not.
would
Yeah.
caution you, if you're going to go into doing this kind of work, it's very rewarding. It's amazing. And the stage is amazing, but also know that there's a reverse diet out, and there's a level of fitness that comes with it where you're quote unquote fluffy. So understanding the mindset between being super, super lean and then coming back into a quote unquote normal look, and not
Wow.
telling yourself that you're fat, because it's
Yeah.
for us women, I will tell you, it will mess with your mind, because you'll think that you can be this amount of leanness and like, oh, I can see my abs and my face is cut in and like this is normal, and it's not. And so I would just caution you to have a mindset of knowing what is a normal weight and what is a stage weight.
Wow. So it's a psychological thing, because I would imagine some girls might think, I want to look like that, but that's not the look that you keep for your whole lifestyle. I did not
No.
know that. I thought that was it, but they go into that and then they pull out. It's like an ebb and a flow.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Well, we got a question. First of all, some fella named Michael Katlow. I don't know who that is. He thanks for hosting and having Katie as a guest. She's a rock star. Yes, she is, Michael. You're a smart man. You got a winning fish on the hook, as they say.
He's
I don't know
such
what
a
they
great
say
guy.
in Scotland,
He's
but
my rock star cheerleader.
there you go. The man with the laptop. I always see him with a laptop, kicking back with sandals. Sandals and high heels there for you. Bob Goldberg, how does COVID-19 impact your training? Good question.
Yes. So interestingly enough, for most of us that do this kind of training, we are isolated anyway, and my husband will attest to this. So when we train for a show, we typically isolate ourselves from friends and family, meaning we don't go out to happy hours. We don't go out to eat at restaurants with our friends and family. If we have a meal where friends are involved, we're usually bringing our own food that's cooked beforehand in our Tupperware containers. So COVID-19, with things being shut down, actually made it easier, quote unquote, to train, because there was less distraction and less temptation to go to a restaurant because they were shut down, less temptation to go to happy hour with friends because the bars and stuff were shut down. So for me, in South Carolina, our grocery stores and stuff never really had a shortage of meats. I did hear from other people where some of the grocery stores had a shortage of protein and they weren't able to stay on their meal plan because they couldn't get the items that they needed. But I never had that problem. So for me, COVID-19 made it easier just because there was less distraction of like wine tastings. Like I am there's a reason why I loved wanting to do Wine with Dave, because I love wine. And typically when I'm training for a show.
Me too, but apparently not tonight.
Right. But typically when I've been training for a show in the past, there's been list after list after list of wine tastings and winery events. And I'm like, oh, I can't go to that because I'm training and I can't have the wine when I'm training. But this time, COVID-19, all the events were canceled. So there was less temptation. So that was super great for me.
Cool.
So just different way of looking at things. Yeah.
So you're a rock star in this industry. So any life lessons that you've learned? Anything that you could take away for even business life lessons or?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is, so my husband, who's watching, is Michael Katlow, and he does a lot of business coaching. He's built solopreneurs and entrepreneur businesses himself, as well as trained others in that area.
Wow.
And he's the one that has been pointing out, like, man, like when I compare your training to business, like this is what I see from it. So I have a coach and I am a trainer. So I would also encourage you, if you are in the fitness world and you're going to go into training, to hire a coach specifically for that, because there's a difference in knowing what to do and also having someone to guide you through it. Because like not seeing the forest for the trees is very, very true. So when you're in this kind of a training and being this dedicated, it's great to have an outside perspective looking in. Same thing with business. If you're trying to build a business and you're so focused on where you want to go, a lot of times you miss outside perspective. So having a mentor, having a trainer, having someone that you can bounce ideas off of, even in building your own entrepreneur business, is super, super helpful because they see things that you don't. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is I've hired a trainer. So before I hired a trainer, I looked at this plan, I looked at this trainer, I looked at his results, I looked at his website, I looked at people that he's trained before, and then I picked one. Meaning, once I picked one and I paid him, I blocked out all other communication from all other websites, all other trainers, all other Instagram features. So if you're a business person and you've decided, I want to build this business, whatever it is, and you've hired a mentor or you've decided on a plan, block everything else out, because all the rest of it will become noise. So meaning, if I've picked to go with my trainer, who is Ronnie, his name is Ronnie. So I go with Ronnie. And then there's Joe Smith over here, Instagram person, who says you should eat 30% carbs and 10% protein, and you should be on this supplement. Well, that's great, but I didn't hire him. So I need to block his information out because I've hired this trainer and I'm only going to listen to what he says. So in a business perspective, if you've put your blinders on and you're focused on this is the way that I want to go, then all of the other information that comes in from whether it's Instagram or websites or whatever else is coming in, block that out so that you can stay on your lane once you've picked your lane. So I think that's super huge in building your business.
That is so cool. Yeah, just like dumb it down. Just stick to one thing and rock with it. Yeah, so if someone's going through a lot in life, that's not really a good time to start something like this. I mean, if they're taking care of their aging grandmother or mother, father, and then there's something else going on, not a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be very distracting for sure.
So let's talk about this thing. I wanted to throw this on the screen. Whoa, I didn't want to do it that big. Hold on. I can't tell. Looks like the umpire.
Yes.
Tell me about this product. This is what you work with, right?
Yeah, so with my training, I do a lot of whole foods. Like it's a very simple meal plan, and I don't do a lot of supplements, but I do have, out of the 5 meals that I eat, 2 of them are protein meals. So they're basically just protein and water. And over the course of 7 years of looking at whey and casein proteins and whey and casein blends, this product is the only one that has not made me feel bloated, that has not made me feel sick, that tastes good and fits into the parameters of my meal plan. So it's it's under 4 grams of carbs. It's about 23 grams of protein. I think it's like 2 grams of fat, and it's a whey casein blend, so it doesn't affect my digestive system. Like, it doesn't bloat me. I don't feel uncomfortable eating it, and I can mix it with just water, and it tastes amazing. Like, even my husband calls it like ice cream treat. Like he eats it as a dessert treat, and it's just protein and water. So it's super delicious. Yeah,
I gotta say, it's a clean. I mean, I'm a logo package designer guy from way back. It's not something you'd write home about. It's just Beverly, black and red graduation, but it's not about that. It's about what's inside, and that's pretty amazing. How many carbs per serving?
I think it's under 4, so less than 4 grams of carbs, depending on the flavor. Yep. And I love all of the flavors except the strawberry. They have a strawberry flavor that I'm just like, not my favorite, but all the other ones are amazing.
So you're the rock star in this. You're the expert. How would we buy that? We can buy it from you and through you?
You can't, yes. So it's not really through me. I just have an Amazon link where I get 30 cents off of it. Not a big deal because Beverly is a big protein, a big company for sure. So I'm not sponsored by them, but I do love it. So on our Katlow's website, you can go to things we recommend, and that will take you to an Amazon link where it's a link to us, and we get like a 20-cent kickback from it. So if you want to order it off that link, great. And we super appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me look at, let me see, katlows.com. I can probably bring that up right now. Hold on a second. All right, so here we are. Where would we go on this?
Go to the Amazon link on the far right.
Okay. There we go.
Yep. And you'll see all the things that we love.
Nice. And this is great. I mean, I want everyone to follow her, follow Katie. She's got a YouTube account, Instagram, Facebook. It's just taking a while. I got too much running right now. I like the flip-flops and stilettos. That's great.
Yes.
Let me guess which one's Michael, which one's you.
It's really difficult. You're right.
That is so cool. That's great.
So when we met, my husband lived his entire life in these favorite flip-flops, his UFO flip-flops, which also are on our recommendation link on Amazon. And I had 150 plus pairs of stilettos. So deciding to travel full time, I couldn't take 150 pairs in my carry-on suitcase. So I took a couple of select ones. And we decided that we would take pictures all around the world in our flip-flops and stilettos.
Oh my gosh. So I'm telling everyone to go to the Katlows, thekatlows.com, and be able to follow her. So any other questions anybody have, just type it in. And again, give us some likes if you like this interview, if you like what Katie is doing. I mean, what a disciplinary field that you've gone in. Seriously, that is intense. Tell me about any new projects that you're working on. What's the future look like for you?
Sure. So right now we're working on some challenges. So 14-day, 30-day challenges, just to kickstart your fitness journey. So if you want to take 14 days between now and Thanksgiving, or maybe enjoy Thanksgiving and then take 14 days between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so that you're not going into the holidays or going into the new year feeling defeated or feeling like, oh, I've got so much weight to take off. Like taking 14 days and kind of pulling it back a little bit so that you're not feeling behind the 8 ball. Then super excited to start that with you guys. We have several ways of doing that where you're focused on goal getting, things that you can do every single day that will help you enjoy the holidays, yes, but not feeling like you're defeated going into the new year. And then if you feel good after 14 days and want to extend that to 30 days, then we have those kind of challenges. And then based on that, if you want to hire me full-time, either for a 6-month or a year, based on just coaching, then we would love to have you join with me as well. And of course, my husband does business coaching for the mindset as well, whether it's entrepreneur or just mindset coaching. So he's super great at building teams and encouraging you in that way as well. So those are some of the things that we have going on, whether it's fitness or whether it's business building or business mindset. I know a lot of things through COVID have been shifting to at home, and a lot of jobs have been either delayed or laid off. And so just going to that next step of what is next for you as a business person. My husband is super great in that. And I'd love to help you with the fitness aspect as well, of just feeling championed and not necessarily defeated in this time.
And isn't this a great time for that?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all home.
Yes.
Why not start working on yourself? I mean, this is, you know, and there are many people that have not lost their job too as well, but I mean, they're home though. I mean, I have an office. We're only going to the office 2 days a week to kind of keep it, you know, quiet, but yeah, working from home mostly. Got a couple questions, and one is from your husband, as if he
Ah,
doesn't know. What is your favorite muscle group to work?
that would be my back. Yes, I love
Yeah,
working back. Yeah, for sure. It is one of the for me at least, it's one of the muscle groups where you can work really, really difficult and see results very quickly. So you can see a lot of growth in the back, I think, really quickly. So I love working back.
I have never worked on my back.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's
It's so
always
great.
biceps, chest, leg press a little, and then just cardio, and actually traps a bit. But I just don't think back. I don't have the you know the stuff in my basement to do that. But yeah, I guess I should.
Yeah, back is amazing, and you can work it in ways that you wouldn't think. So like rows, and then like pulling up on, like if you just had a bar laid across a bench, like you could work by lifting up from the floor and working those lats. But yeah, I love to work my back for sure.
Now, I saw a video of you doing that. It was just like pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, and it was like, man, that looks really really good. So Michael, your husband's actually saying, what's your least favorite? And that's a great question.
So least
Can I
favorite for
can I
me,
guess?
yes, you can guess.
Calves?
Close. Legs. I hate working legs.
Yeah,
And people will be like, a lot of people are shocked by that because they're like, "Oh, you have such long, beautiful, lean looking legs," but I don't like working them. For one, they hurt. So like to work legs on Monday, I can barely move on Tuesday, and I hate that.
really.
So I don't like the after effect of working legs. But the results are great for sure, and you must work legs, but I don't enjoy them. So that's a huge discipline for me. So if you're a guy and you're like, I would rather just work chest and biceps and arms and my upper body, and I hate working legs, trust me, I get it. I'm your trainer, and I'm going to push you through the discipline because I don't like it either, but it pays
No, I've
off.
and I get the idea of symmetry because I've seen guys that are like pretty jacked, muscular, and they've got it up here, but then they're in shorts and they got these skinny horse legs.
Yes.
And it's like, dude, that you've already got this is natural up here. Just stop working on your legs. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not a bodybuilder, but I'm just saying it just makes sense to be a little more symmetrical. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
me.
even my husband, he was like, Michael used to run. Like he's ran full marathons, he's ran a half marathon and ran a lot. But when he started dating and then married me, he's like, I've never done squats like this before or lunges, and they hurt so bad. But now he's
Yeah.
more balanced. So just taking that discipline and making yourself balanced. And you wouldn't understand, but as a runner, if you do have a desire to run, working your legs in the gym will make you a better runner, obviously, as well. So taking that
Wow.
time to work the glutes and build those muscles is super important.
Well, I'll tell you, Katie, it's great having you on. And so, did we touch everything? Katie Katlow, go to
I
thecatlows.com.
think so.
You have an Instagram account, so follow her on Instagram. And please do that. I do that. I do this show to kind of highlight people, entrepreneurs and business owners. So please do me that favor and follow her. I want to build your following on that Facebook, and also get to know Michael, the man. He's the
Yes.
sandals end of it. He's not the
Yes.
stilettos. He's the sandals end. Let's see. She's an amazing trainer. I've lost 52.2 pounds just following her guides. Wow. Was he
Yeah,
very
he's got quite the
overweight, or was
story.
he just slightly, and he's really tight now?
At his, yeah, well, he is right at
Wow,
six
Michael.
feet. Yeah, and at his heaviest, which was before me, he was about 200. He can quote me on it, but a little over 200 pounds. And now his leanest has been 177. So, and I never said, hey, you should run more or you should try this. Just from following me, from meal prepping and measuring things and going to the gym every day, He's lost 52.2 pounds
52,
just from
yeah.
being around me. So yeah, and that's what I've told people. It's not so much about rocket science with me. It's just about being accountable. So if you just need that kick in the pants of checking in with me and like, hey, did you do your workout today? And did you eat on your plan? Then I'm your girl. Like I think most people in the world know what to do. It's just having that accountability. And for Michael, it was just living in the same house with me and seeing that I was doing the things I was going to do. So I'd love to be your trainer. I'd love to be your accountability coach and just help you stay on track with what you already know to do. So,
right. You know, I heard the phrase, you can never outrun your fork.
Yep.
And so do you believe that, you know, the fork, the nutrition's good, or actually exercise is good, but really nutrition is just a bit better? Or are you kind of 50-50 on that?
I think it is. No, I think it's more 70-30, if I did that math right, on nutrition. Just simply because if you can dial in your diet and maintain your fork, and I'm not saying that you can never have something that tastes amazing. Like my husband has not hated life. Like he has eaten things coated in butter, if you will. Like I make omelets for him and the pan is coated in butter and there's yummy eggs and there's ham and there's cheese, but there's the idea of measuring your food. So just the idea of eating at a certain time and knowing that, okay, I'm going to have 2 eggs with ham and cheese, and then in another 3 hours, I'm going to have a protein shake with the Beverly UMP. So just being on a regimen has made him lose the weight. So it's just been tracking your calories and maintaining that. So I think that is more important than what you do in the gym. Granted, you do need to move your body, but it doesn't have to be as strict on moving your body as it does in taking into consideration what comes into your mouth.
Right.
So it can still be enjoyable, but I think mindfully eating and mindfully taking into account what I'm eating is super important for sure.
Yeah, so he's saying meal prepping ahead of time is good. When I've done that, it's so much better. It really is. Because then you're not just lazy. I'm a lazy eater. If I'm hungry, I just want to grab it. But if I know my lunch is there and it's lettuce wraps with chicken and I love that stuff. I love that pad thai kind of a, you know, slightly Asian taste of meat wrapped in a lettuce. So healthy. And but if I don't have it, I'm just grabbing something that might be high in fat or whatever. But that's really, really good. Good advice. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It is just after 10 o'clock. I don't have any deadlines here, but please follow Katie Katlow, all the way from Mexico. So thank you so much for staying on the show. We're going to have a little after party, you and I, for about a minute or 2 minutes.
Yes.
But Katie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. This was fun. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll stay in touch.
Yep.
Well, that was great. She's awesome. She is really awesome. Very inspiring, too. It doesn't feel like she's someone that's going to crack the whip and yell at you, but it's just common sense and just the steady hand of discipline. So if you are at least slightly thinking, man, I need a trainer, you know, January came and went, and February, March, April, May, COVID hit, and I had my New Year's resolution and I blew it. Well, you don't really blow it. You just got to get back on the horse and get her as a trainer. She'd be great. And then get some of her whey, some of her protein. So I'm going to close with a joke tonight. Let's see. What do I have here? I usually have... Oh, where did my sound effects go? Come on. Where did my... Nope, that's not it. Nope. Where is my sound effects? Here's my sound. You need a sound effect with a joke, people. It's just how it is. So I got a joke, and it is a bodybuilding joke. So I hope I don't insult anyone. I really don't mean to insult anybody. But there were 2 bodybuilders, and they were having a conversation, but they were in hell. All right, so they died. They probably didn't have the best nutrition. But anyway, side point. I digress. They were dead, and they were bad guys. They were in hell. 2 bodybuilders. First guy says, hey, dude, Do you think there's anything anywhere down here that I could get a really good protein shake? Second guy says, dude, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. And I'm empty. Oh, ran out of water. Take care. See you next week. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, I have 2 guests, 2 nights in a row. Tuesday, abstract painter. And I think I have a band on Wednesday night. Check it out. Take care, everybody. Be nice to each other.